It was a battle between three guys who have never won in the NASCAR Cup Series, and Chase Briscoe came out on top at Phoenix. Chase Briscoe, Ross Chastain, and Tyler Reddick were all fighting very hard for the win at the end of this Phoenix race. Multiple cautions here at the end, but Chase Briscoe was able to get good restarts, and both of those final restarts to hold off Reddick, Chastain, and even a guy who hasn't won in almost 2 years, Kevin Harvick, his teammate, to win at Phoenix. Once again, his first career win. The Tony Stewart fan now driving Tony Stewart's car, and the number 14. It looks like that 2011 championship car with the Office Depot, but it's Mahindra tractors or something. But either way, Chase Briscoe wins at Phoenix, his first career win, and man, what a year it has been for him so far. Looking at compared to last year for Chase Briscoe and the 14 team and all of Stewart-Haas, really, it was a struggle. Only one win for the organization, and it was from Eric Almirola at New Hampshire. Kevin Harvick, their championship driver, their future Hall of Famer, no wins last year. Chase Briscoe, their rookie, no wins last year. Got close at the Indianapolis road course, but other than that, he really struggled a lot last year. Cole Custer didn't win last year. I mean, Stewart-Haas Racing struggled as a whole last year, and, you know, they've really shown improvement this year so far. Almirola's been in the top 10, I believe, every race this year except for today. Harvick's been closer to the front than he was last year. Briscoe has been consistently up front. He led laps this week. He led laps at Auto Club, and he led a lot of laps today. I think he led almost 100, I want to say. So Stewart-Haas Racing as a whole has improved tremendously, and they've won in the fourth race of the season with their second-year driver, Chase Briscoe, who had an incredible Xfinity 2020 season, 9-10 wins that year, came short of the championship to Austin Cindric, but still an incredible 2020 Xfinity season. His rookie season in Cup, it was a struggle. It was a big learning struggle. He had a great opportunity at the Indianapolis road course, but it didn't fall his way. And then today, everything basically seemed like it fell his way. They had a great car, qualified extremely well, up in the top 5. He ran in the top 5 most of the day, maybe in the top 10 for a bit of the day, but at the end of the race, he put himself in position, got a great restart over Chase Elliott, was leading Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott was right on his tail there for a bit, but Briscoe held strong up front, and he was able to hold off Elliott. Then there was a caution with, 28, 29 laps to go. And Briscoe was out front, and the pit crew did their job. It's a team sport. NASCAR, despite it being a driver in a race car, it's still a team sport with pit stops, and the pit crew got him out in front. He was able to choose the lane he wanted to choose. It was a little bit of a struggle of a restart at first. He had a Ross Chastain right there with him who dove all the way to the bottom of the apron, but Briscoe was able to power off of 2 to hold the lead. It looked like it was going to be a battle between him and Tyler Reddick, but then with 8 to go, Chase Elliott spun. Another caution, and Briscoe got a great restart, was able to pull ahead and win at Phoenix. So a very impressive win from Briscoe. He led a ton of laps. They had a great car, and he had to hold off some very hungry guys there at the end to win at Phoenix. And it was an all right race. Definitely not to the level of those last 2 races at Fontana and Las Vegas, but it was a decent race. Phoenix has always been kind of a difficult track to pass at and kind of a difficult track to have a ton of action at, but the ending was really exciting with the restart. Sure, the cautions and stuff kind of had to make it interesting, but I think we saw one of the best cars win. I really do. We saw a great performance from Chase Briscoe, especially at the end there, holding off Reddick, Chastain, Harvick for that win. So, I feel like we did see maybe the best car win today, which was really cool to see as well. Sometimes in late race restarts, someone who sneaks up and grabs a win. But it's not like it's a fake win. It doesn't count. They did everything right. But, it was, I feel like it was the best car that won today. So congratulations to Chase Briscoe on that first win. Really like the guy. Really like him as a race car driver. I think he's a really good driver. I put him in my playoffs last year. Didn't work out so well. Put him in my playoffs this year, and so far it's worked out pretty well. But, Chase Briscoe, really happy for him. Really happy for Stewart-Haas, their first win of 2022. Let's look at the finishing results, should we? Chase Briscoe gets the win, his first career win. We talked about him for a minute now. But as I said, really happy for him. Really happy for Stewart-Haas Racing. A big struggle last year for Stewart-Haas, for Gene Haas, and F1 and NASCAR. But anyways, a really good start to the year for them. As I said, with Almirola getting multiple top 10s already. Harvick being up front a little bit more consistently. Even though he was pretty consistently in the top 10 last year, he's been able to be in the top 5 this year. Briscoe having winning speed, a winning car, a big deal. So very good start of the year for Chase Briscoe and Stewart-Haas Racing. Moving on to second place, another great performance by Ross Chastain. He was in the back half of the top 10 most of the day, I want to say, but got himself up front late in this race. A good pit stop, some good strategy, some good racing from Chastain, and he was able to put himself in position to be fighting for the win for the second straight week. Chastain last week, of course, led over 80 laps, and that one seemed like he was going to win at times of that Las Vegas race, but unfortunately things didn't fall his way. But another great performance by the Trackhouse driver, and it's a second place finish for him, so he might be next on the first wins list. So look out for him. Tyler Reddick, once again, we've talked about him. He came so close at Auto Club before having a tire go down. Finishes third today. Looked like he was going to have a shot at Chase Briscoe maybe, but that caution came out late. The late race restart, Briscoe was able to pull away, but a good run for Reddick nonetheless. He's another guy on that list that will soon have his first win because he has been running really well and up front consistently. Fourth place, Ryan Blaney, one of the best cars all day, qualified on the pole, led over 100 laps, I want to say. Had to battle back from a penalty to get back up front. Had a bad pit stop on one of the last pit stops, dropped him back, but he rallies back for fourth. Kurt Busch got fifth. In all the chaos of that late race restart, Kurt Busch got fifth. Well, how about that? Good for him. He was like, he was out of the top 10 most of the day, but fifth place for him. Good for you, Kurt Busch. Good for you, 2311. Sixth place, Kevin Harvick. He was a top 5 car all day. That looked like the Kevin Harvick old, and he ties a record for most consecutive top 10 finishes at a single racetrack, tying Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty, who both did it at North Wilkesboro. Harvick does it at Phoenix. 18 straight top 10s at Phoenix. Obviously, the king of Phoenix, he has 9 wins there. We expected him to be up front today. We expected him to compete for wins. Even when he is not his full Kevin Harvick form, we expect him to be up front at Phoenix, and he did just that today. Led some laps, I believe, was in the top 5 most of the day, but finishes 6th. 7th place, Kyle Busch. 8th place, Joey Logano. 9th place, Daniel Suarez. A double top 10 for Trackhouse. Good for them. 10th place, Chris Buescher took tires on that last caution, so good for him to get up there in the top 10. 11th, Chase Elliott kind of rallies from a spin to finish 11th. He spun at the last 8 laps to go. He led some laps, was in the top 5 for a good portion of the day, but bad pit stop at the end kind of shuffled them back, and then he spun out, so he ends up finishing 11th. 12th, Eric Almirola. 13th, Denny Hamlin. 14th, Alex Bowman, last week's winner at Las Vegas. 15th, Ty Dillon. 16th, Cole Custer. 17th, Justin Haley. 18th, William Byron. He had a top 5, top 10 car most of the day. I don't know what happened to him there at the end. 19th, Todd Gilliland. 20th, AJ Allmendinger. 21st, Austin Dillon. 22nd, Bubba Wallace. 23rd, Brad Keselowski. 24th, Austin Cindric. 25th, Eric Jones. He was the reason for the caution with 25 to go. 26th, Christopher Bell. 27th, Michael McDowell. 28th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 29th, Harrison Burton. 30th, Landon Castle. 31st, Cody Ware. 32nd, Garrett Smithley. 33rd, BJ McLeod. 34th, Kyle Larson. Had a mechanical issue. I think they said it was something with a valve stem, I want to say. But, obviously Kyle Larson, points leader. He already won a race. That's going to hurt him in the points, but he already has a win, so he's in the playoffs. 35th, Martin Truex Jr. blew a tire at a pretty bad spot. Hit the wall pretty hard, but he was okay. And 36th, Corey LaJoie had a wheel break or something. The tire went off completely, but the wheel stayed intact. But that is your finishing result. So we had some surprise finishes at the bottom, but Toyota most of the day wasn't as competitive as I expected them to be, being the defending winner of this race with Truex. But they got Kurt Busch there up at the end in a top 5 position. Tyler Reddick, Ross Chastain, once again showing how good they are and how they can compete for wins when they are up front, given the right car. And it's Chase Briscoe at the end of the day getting his first career win. Very happy for Chase Briscoe. Really happy for Stewart-Haas Racing. All the guys at that team. I mean, seriously, Chase Briscoe. I don't know how you cannot like the guy, but funny fact, I have this odds sheet over here from Vegas, and they actually put Ryan Briscoe instead of Chase Briscoe. So yeah, they got the winner of the race wrong on their little stat sheet, on their little odds sheet. So Vegas, do better. But anyways, overall this race, I mean, we did see some different guys up front. You know, guys we didn't normally see. Briscoe, Chastain, Reddick, who are starting to become more normally up front. But, you know, it wasn't dominated by one guy, but there were portions of the race that were definitely dominated by certain guys. We did see 6 or 7 leaders, I want to say. Briscoe, Byron, Elliott, Blaney, Harvick, I want to say. Kyle Busch, I think, led at some point. So we did see some, but it definitely wasn't as good as Vegas and Fontana. But it was still a pretty good race, I want to say. It wasn't, you know, an out-of-the-park race, but it definitely wasn't bad. It still had good racing. That top lane with the resin, with the, whatever you want to call it, the sticky stuff, you were able to still run the top with that grip, run the bottom. So overall, it was still a good race. I'd give it probably an 8 out of 10. But yeah, solid Phoenix race. I'm really happy. Really good results there. So really fun race, really fun ending. But yeah, Next Gen Car has 4 races now and 4 different winners, and they're all under the age of 30, I believe. Cindric, Larson, Bowman, and Briscoe. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We talk about NASCAR a lot on here. We're going to talk about F1 this week. F1 season starts a week from today. We're going to have the full season preview and predictions on Wednesday, so look out for that. And I'll do some other videos. So, yeah.